You are the largest predator that has ever walked on land. 9 meters long, 8 tons of muscle and bone, standing in a forest that smells of ferns and wet earth. It's 67 million years ago, in what will someday be called Montana. You open your eyes because the light through the trees has changed, not because anything woke you on purpose. So what did a single day actually look like for a Tyrannosaurus rex? For decades, movies gave one answer. Constant roaring, constant chasing. A monster that never stopped hunting. The fossil record tells a calmer, stranger story. In 1990, fossil hunter Sue Hendrickson found the most complete Tyrannosaurus skeleton ever recovered in the Badlands of South Dakota. Scientists named her Sue. She measured 12.3 meters long and lived to roughly 28 years old, and her bones became the blueprint for reconstructing how this animal moved, ate, and grew. Start with the senses. Paleontologist Kent Stevens measured the skull in 2006 and found binocular vision wider than a hawk's, close to 55 degrees of overlap between the eyes, sharp enough to judge distance on a moving target from far away. The nose mattered even more. A 2009 study by Darla Zelenitsky measured the olfactory bulbs inside tyrannosaur skulls and found them proportionally larger than almost any predator alive today, close to the range of turkey vultures that can smell a carcass from kilometers off. The eyes stayed open longer than you'd expect, too. A 2011 study on scleral rings, the bony rings that support an animal's eye, found that large predatory dinosaurs were probably active through both day and night, unlike most of the large herbivores sharing their world. The morning begins with scent, not sight. You lift your head and taste the air, rot, mud, and underneath both, blood that's already a day old. For years, paleontologist Jack Horner argued that Tyrannosaurus survived mainly on scavenged carcasses, too slow and heavy to chase down healthy prey. Then researchers found a Triceratops pelvis with a bite wound that had partially healed. The animal survived an attack, which means something tried to kill it while it was still alive. The debate settled somewhere in the middle, scavenging when a carcass turned up, hunting when it didn't. You followed the scent for maybe 2 kilometers, moving at a pace that still covers ground fast. Legs built more like a marathon runner's than a sprinter's. Ahead, a herd of Edmontosaurus grazes near a river, heads down. Charging the herd isn't the plan. You track a young one drifting from the group, slower than the rest, distracted. The final rush lasts seconds, ending with a bite strong enough to crush straight through bone. In a 2017 study, researchers Gregory Erickson and Gignac modeled Tyrannosaurus jaw muscle and skull structure, calculating close to 8,000 kilograms of force behind a single bite, more than any land animal on record, living or extinct. A fossilized dropping found in Saskatchewan, packed with crushed Edmontosaurus bone fragments, shows exactly how much force went into a single meal. Bone shatters on contact, and the pieces go down whole. Feeding rarely takes more than an hour. A body this size burns enormous amounts of energy, and researchers estimate a single kill can cover several days, sometimes closer to a week, if nothing else interrupts the meal. By midday, the hard work is done. What follows looks less like a predator on patrol, and more like an animal, managing its own enormous size. Shade from the conifers matters now, because at 8 tons, overheating is a genuine risk. Erickson's 2004 bone growth study found this species grew fastest as a teenager, adding close to 2 kilograms a day during a growth spurt that lasted several years. That kind of growth demands rest as much as food. Afternoons likely meant long stretches of stillness, broken by short trips toward water or shade. Tyrannosaurus wasn't necessarily solitary either. In Alberta, paleontologists found parallel trackways left by a group of tyrannosaurid relatives moving in the same direction at the same time, evidence that at least some of these animals tolerated each other's company, maybe even relied on it. That company had limits, though. A 2010 study by paleontologist Nicholas Longrich examined bite marks on Tyrannosaurus bones themselves, including a foot bone gnawed down to the marrow, and traced some of those marks back to other Tyrannosaurs. Territory and rank mattered enough to fight over, occasionally to the death. As the light fades, the forest carries sound you can't hear with human ears. The throat structure of a Tyrannosaurus resembles that of modern crocodilians, animals capable of producing deep, resonating calls below the range of human hearing. Some researchers think Tyrannosaurus communicated the same way, low rumbles traveling through ground and air for kilometers, marking territory without a single audible roar. Night doesn't mean full unconsciousness. Modern reptiles and birds rest in short cycles, rather than one long, uninterrupted block. And scleral ring evidence gives no reason to think Tyrannosaurus slept any differently. Short bouts of rest broken by brief periods of alertness through the dark hours. This wasn't a life built around constant violence. Long stretches of patrol and rest, interrupted by short, brutal bursts of hunting, wrapped around a body engineered for growth and raw power once it reached full size. Then, 66 million years ago, an asteroid struck what's now Mexico, and within a geological instant, every non-avian dinosaur on Earth disappeared, Tyrannosaurus included. What remains are bones like Sue's, like Scotty's. The most massive Tyrannosaurus skeleton ever found, unearthed in Saskatchewan, and like Trex, now on display in the Netherlands. Each skeleton adds new detail, and the reconstruction keeps changing as fresh evidence turns up. You'll never see one alive. But thanks to decades of careful digging, measuring, and arguing over bite marks and bone rings, we know more about a single day in the life of Tyrannosaurusrex than almost any other extinct animal on the planet.